Good morning, I am Purnima, and once again student I am standing here to revise the lesson, the last lesson. I am going to revise the first lesson of your flamenco work, and the name of that lesson is the last lesson. Children, I have already told you many things about it, like I have told you about the author. Okay, Alphonse Daudet. He was a French novelist, and children, he this story is full of French background. At that time, children, a war was there. Franco-Prussian war was there. So in this war, it was Germany who had lost the battle. Okay, it was Germany who had lost the battle, and now children, this war, okay, due to this war, lot of people died and many new rules were also imposed. So what were the rules were there, children? Some of the rules were there that the language of French would be not be taught from now. It would be not be taught in the school, and not only the language, children, the teacher of the school, the French teacher of the school will be no more in the school. They have to leave the school immediately. Children, this story is a very emotional touch. In this story, a boy is there. A boy is there in this story, and children, what he is asking, what he is telling, he is telling that he did not like to learn his language. He always kept a distance from his language. Okay, so children, he kept a distance from his language, and he was rather interested in watching the beauties of nature, like cooing of the birds, chirping of the bird, looking at the sky. Okay, seeing the beautiful nature. All this thing he wanted to do, except to study French language. Now children, one day, children, he was late for the school, and his teacher had also given him some homework to do, but he did not do that homework because he did not like the language, as well as, children, he did not like to study. Now he wanted to bunk the school for two reasons, and that day, first, he did not had done his homework. His teacher has given to learn the participle in the French language. Okay, that was his homework for the day. It was related with the French language, and he had to learn participle at that time in the day. So children, what happened that day, children? It was what to tell, children, he was really, he did not want to go to school because he knew friends that he had not learned his lesson, and if his teacher will ask about participle, he will just simply stand blank and he would be humiliated in front of everybody. So he thought of bunking his class, but at the same time, children, he thought that why he would not bunk the class, he would rather go to the school. Now children, since he was already late, so he was fast, he was going to the school. When he was going to the school, he saw a bulletin board. A crowd was there gathered at the bulletin board. Now what is a bulletin board? It is a board kept outside, and that day some news related with war used to be there in the bulletin board. Now children, he started thinking curiously, what should have written in the bulletin board. Well, anyway, whatever was written or not written, one thing was sure, that he, okay, that he started, children, he started doing what? He started telling that he started telling that he started thinking that from the last two years, the news which used to be there in the bulletin board was not used to be good. Okay, but children, he also wanted to see, but he was not having time. He was already late for the school. Now daily what he used to do, children, daily what he used to do, he used to children, daily what he used to do, he used to uh, mostly he was late, and what he used to do, children, he used to bunk his school, and or whenever he was late, he used to reach the school late. He used to take advantage of what, children? He used to take advantage of uh, he used to take advantage of what, children? Advantage of getting late. When there used to be commotion, he used to go and stake his bench. He used to run fast when lot of hustle and bustle used to be there in the class, and he used to reach to the class. He used to reach to the seat. Now, children, when that day he went, he was already late. He was thinking that his teacher would punish him. He went there. Everybody was quiet and silent. He did not like that he was late, because he has to go to his seat towards in front of everyone. Okay. Now, so what happened, children? What happened that day? But that day, children, when he went there, when he saw he was late, he was very much scared, because he saw through the window that teacher was already in the class, and it was a pin drop silence class. Nobody was talking that day. So when he opened the door of the classroom, he felt very much embarrassed. But children, to his surprise, he was shocked that his teacher did not scolded him. Rather, what he had told in a very lovable manner to him, that he should take his place. That he should take his place. Okay. And children, when he went there, so three things surprised him a lot. First, he saw that few elderly people of the village were there. They were sitting at the back seat, and they were all the habituated people of the village. They were all elderly person. Second thing, children, he saw that it was a full pin drop silence, and the students were looking very serious. And the third scene, he had children, he saw that his teacher was putting the best dress. His teacher was putting the best dress. Okay. And now, children, what his teacher was doing, his teacher he was wearing in the best dress, a green color suit, a black satin hat, and a fringed shirt. And generally, he used to, children, what he used to do, he used to put that dress in the children, when the inspection used to take place, or when some result or the prize distribution day was there. So, children, he was very much surprised why he is putting his best dress, and why the people at the village were sitting. Now, children, suddenly his teacher announced that today is the last day for teaching French language, and you have to pay attention, all of you, and from tomorrow you have to study German language. What you have to study? You have to study German language. And he told that while today is the last day for him also, because as some new teacher will come from the next day to teach them German. Now, children, it was a blow to all the students, to all the elderly people. They were very much shocked that today would be the last day for teaching the French language. In fact, children, what really happened, children, they were not only shocked, but children, they were children, not only shocked. What they were doing, they were children, they were having the patriotic feeling. In fact, everybody was repenting, everybody was looking sad that today would be their last day. Everybody was looking very sad that day. Okay. And children, they were full of the patriotic feeling. Now, and children, first of all, it was Frank who was really very sad. He was thinking that till now, children, he never used to admire his teacher so much, But then children, that day he admired his teacher and he forgot his iron ruler from which he used to get beating. Okay. Well children, after that Mr. Monsieur Hamel told that he gave a pay to tribute to the French language. He declared that the French was the most beautiful language of the world. It is the most clearest language of the world and most logical of all language. And then he asked the people to guard that language among themselves and never forget it. As long as people hold fast to their language, they have the key to freedom. Hence, they must love and respect their own language. Okay. So, children, then he told the student to take out their. We would like to discuss the participle. All right. And children, he told the student to take out their books on to recite the participle. He started liking one by one. He started liking participle, and then what happened, children? The teacher saw many students, not only friends, but many students were there who did not study participle. Okay. So what they have done? They have children. What they have done? They did not study participle, and what they have done, student, they then here Mr. French, he started giving lecture. Okay, what lecture he had given to him? He told that French. Just now I told about the lecture, but at the same time, children, he told that we must guard our language. Till now, we were not at all serious in learning the language. So he told that he told the people, even the elderly people, the teacher told that they were not serious at all in learning the language. At least they should know how to read and how to write the French language. If somebody will ask him anything as a Frenchman, so they would cut a sorry figure in front of anyone that they are not aware of their language, that they can neither read nor write their language in a nice manner. Now, so students, what happened that children, what happened? Actually, he told that the French language will be not be taught, and he told that you have to guard your language, as this is the most beautiful language of the world, most clearest and most logical language. So you have to guard the language. And he told but at the same time he told that it is due to parents. First of all, you people haven't taken much effort to learn your language, and then he told it is the duty of the parents also. It is the duty of the parents. They also make you do a lot of work to have some more money, like you were sent in the forms, you were sent in the mail to work much harder to earn the money, and they did not care that they should have learned your language. Now he told that even I am supposed to be blamed, because many a time I had sent old France to water the plant. Okay, and sometimes even I bunked the classes. I had to give you holiday when I really wanted to go for fishing. So these are some of the things which Monsieur Hamel also accepted, that he was not sincere in teaching. So children, finally children, he gave a Mr. Hamel, he gave a parting message. What was the parting message to his students and the village elders who had gathered in the classroom? Monsieur Hamel aim was to arouse patriotic feeling in his student, village elders and the people of the town for their native language. He made them conscious of the glory and greatness of French language. He urged them to safeguard it among themselves. Finally, he wrote, "Vive la France." So then finally he gave the parting message, "Vive la France," that is, long live France. This was the parting message given by Monsieur Hamel, and children, he became so emotional that he did not even could talk. Okay, by the gesture of his hand, he told everybody to go out. Now the class is dismissed. Okay, and now everybody leaves. Well, children, so this was the stories. This was the children story, and that we have done the revision. Now, children, we have till in the yesterday's video, I have revised all type of short questions which came in the which might come in the board examination, and the question paper, the questions were belonging to the children, what the question were belonging to the from the sample paper, from the board examination paper. So now we are going to discuss the long answer. Now children, I told you, first of all, let me give you some tips how to write long answer. Children, first of all, you have to write in a very nice handwriting. You don't have to scribble or something like doing that. Now children, you must write in 2 to 3 paragraph. You must write in the long you must write in the long children in the long children question. At least 3 to 4 paragraph should be there, because the word limit is only 120 to 150 word, not more than that you can write. Now, so I am going to discuss some of the very important question and some question from the sample paper or the board examination. Okay, and children, you must understand what is given in the question. Like children, I am telling you one question to you. What was the order from Berlin? How did that order affect the people of Alsace, particularly by Monsieur Hamel and his student? So there are 2 questions in it. Try to understand. You have to answer which question, and the question number first in what manner, and question number 2 in which manner, and how you have to conclude your answer. So a shocking order had come from Berlin. The school in the 2 French-speaking occupied districts of Alsace and Lorraine were to teach only in German. The order from Berlin hurt the pride of the people of France. Patriotic feelings were aroused in them. The village elders had already sat on the last bench with the student. Monsieur Hamel declares that it was his last lesson in France. In French, he would have to place for good. A new master would replace him to teach German language. The news aroused patriotic feeling and love for France in students as well as the villagers. The village elders had come to show their respect to Monsieur Hamel. He had served the community faithfully for 40 years. Monsieur Hamel spoke at length the clearest and the most logical language. He expressed his dismay that the people of Alsace were quite indifferent to the learning of French. He called upon them to guard it among everyone, listened to him with rapt attention and respect. Okay. So, children, this is the way you have to write the question. And you can also start sometime that this question is from the last lesson written by Alphonse Daudet, by saying that you can write the question. Now children, one question came in the CBSE examination, and I think this question is very common in the board examination, that you have to write character sketch of a person. Now, children, for a few points I would like to share that what is a character sketch. Okay, so what is a character sketch? Character sketch is that thing, children, where we have to write, we have to describe about that person's character. So children, there's no rules for that, but there is a way how to write it. First of all, children, we will write a few words about that person in the starting, and then we will write about his quality, like France, or we will take Monsieur Hamel. Okay, so what type of person was Monsieur Hamel? Kind, considerate, okay, patriotic feeling. He was having a lot of patriotic feeling. Okay, he was good as a teacher. So lot of things children has to be. So first we have to choose. We have to think about his positive character, and then afterward children we can choose the negative character. Then afterward we can choose the negative character. Okay. Children, then you have to write the points, and related with that points, whatever the rhymes or the examples were there in the book, you have to write it. Okay, like children, he loved his language, so you can write that he gave a lot of lecture to the students and the elderly person, that French is a beautiful language, it's the most logical language, it is the most children, what to say, it is the most considerate, it is the most clearest language, it is the most beautiful language in the world, and you must guard this language, you must not forget, take care of your language. So children, this all were said by him, and this lines we have taken from your Flamingo book. So children, whenever you write the answer of character sketch, and whenever you will write characters, then what you will think, what you will say that these things are there. Okay, you will feel that Monsieur Hamel, okay, he was a very patriotic person. So children, you have to write so many examples, and at the last, children, you can write at the last, his parting message was "Vive la France." So which the meaning of that word is that that long live France. Okay, so children, in this way you will write the characteristic. Finally children, when you will write all the characteristic, positive characteristic, what you will write the negative character. So there wasn't much negative character, except children, he accepted himself that what he used to give, sometime what he used to tell his students, what he used to tell his student, that you have to come there. He used to tell his student that sometime even he used to take help from the student, like he used to send to water the plants by France, and then children, many times he went to fishing. Why he went to fishing, children? Because, and while going to the fishing, he gave holiday to the school. This is not a good thing on the part of a teacher. A teacher is a teacher. Every time, why he gave such work to France only? Okay, a student cannot deny that, refuse the work given by the teacher. So he should not have done, or he should have, children, done with all the students, that one by one he should send most of the students to his garden to water the plant. So to one boy only he is telling all this thing. So this is not fair. So but he has accepted this thing. So in this manner a person will have to write about characters sketch. And children, how you will start? Like in the last lesson, Alphonse Daudet has presented Monsieur Hamel character with all sympathy and respect. He is presented in the mode of a traditional schoolmaster. He always kept his terrible ruler under his arm. Mr. Hamel was a hard taskmaster and a crack. Always, we also see the other side of Monsieur Hamel character. After the order from Berlin came, he was transformed person now. He realized that it was his last lesson in French, and the next day, children, a new teacher would replace him. He would teach them in German, and patriotic feelings were aroused in him. He became extra soft and gentle toward his student that day. He did not scold French for coming late, nor did he use his ruler when French got mixed up and confused. He declared that it was his last lesson in French. Naturally, Monsieur Hamel was very highly respected both by his student and the village elders. He had served faithfully, okay, and for 40 years in the same school. The village elders came to pay their respect to such a grand teacher. Monsieur Hamel loved France and French from the core of his heart. He considered French or the most beautiful language in the world. He asked the Frenchmen to guard it among themselves and never to forget it. So he was a true patriotic person. So children, afterward you can start a lot of things. Okay, afterward you can start whatever I have discussed with you. So in this way, what you will do, children, you will be starting the your character sketch. Now children, as you can see, children, how this question progress. Okay, so the question is that how did Franz spend the day of the last lesson at school? Okay, how he has passed his day at the last day at his school. And children, how different from usual was the atmosphere at the school on the day of the last lesson. So this question, both questions are same. One was given in 2012 and one was given in the board examination of 2015. So children, you can once again I read here, then you will write, children, Franz was late for school. He was frightened as he entered the class, but nothing happened since it was the last day for Monsieur Hamel. Okay, he spoke very kindly and asked him to take his seat. He saw Monsieur Hamel in a beautiful green coat, his French shirt, his black little silk cap. He wore those clothes only on inspection and prize days. But Franz was surprised to see the village people sitting quietly on the back benches. The whole school seemed so strange and solemn. Monsieur Hamel mounted his chair and spoke in a grave but gentle tone. He announced that an order had come from Berlin to teach only German in the school of Alice and Lorraine. The new teacher would come the next day. It was their last lesson in French. These words came as a thunderclap to Franz. He felt sorry for not learning his lessons. His books were no more a nuisance but were old friends now. He realized that Monsieur Hamel would never teach them again. He forgot all about his ruler and also how cranky he was. Like the villager, he too showed respect to his French teacher. Patriotic feeling overpowered him. He listened to Monsieur Hamel's last message very attentively. He praised French as the most beautiful and the logical language in the world. They must guard it among themselves. Now children, all of a sudden, the church clock struck 12. They heard the trumpets of the Persian soldiers returning from the drill. Monsieur Hamel turned to the blackboard and wrote as loud as he could, and what did he had written? Long live la France. That is, long live France. In fact, children, he became so emotional that he could not even speak. Okay, he made the gesture from his hand and he told everyone to go. And children, this was his last parting message. Also, long live French, which prove that he was very sorry for the children to leave and now not able to teach French to his student. Okay, and he told that they must guard the language and they will never forget their language, as it is the most beautiful language in the world. Okay, and children, last moment he became quite emotional, and the villager and the student put up an impressive show. It reflected their love and respect for their native language, French. Mr. Hamel utilized the occasion to arouse patriotic feeling among the villagers and the students present there. He made them realize how precious their language was to them. No attempt to impose German on the French-speaking people of Alice would succeed in future. So he wrote Bible of friends on the blackboard. It was a meeting of message of hope, strength, and patriotism. Okay, this message which he had written, it was the message of hope, children, hope, strength, and patriotism. So in this way, children, you can see that how beautiful I've ended the question, how I've told you how to start such type of question. So with this, children, I end my video here, and tomorrow I will be there with more important question from this lesson. So thank you and have a nice day ahead.